What is up, folks? That horse over there, coming back at you with another video. Okay, so we're going to be combining some concepts together, like we always do on this channel, to better understand some of the just misunderstood, maybe like esoteric kind of things. I'm gonna mix in some science, how it can kind of make sense, because that's what we do on this channel. Okay, so today we're going to talk about planetary magic and astrology, and maybe not so much like the actually not astrology, not like the like the signs like Taurus and Sagittarius, but we'll do the planets. Okay, so like Mars, Venus, the moon included, the sun included, stuff within our solar system. Okay, so we're not going to talk about each characteristic, but basically we're going to go over what kind of is going on. So we'll start off with when undertaking. Okay, so in Hermeticism and like the book, like the Golden Dawn, they have this thing called like the Great Work, which basically means and I could be getting this a little bit wrong, and it took me a while to figure out what it was because it's not very clear, but it's something like like a transformation, an alchemic, analogous to like alchemy, like transforming like lead into gold. It's transforming oneself into like this greater version of yourself, like the greatest enlightened version of yourself that has distilled away all like the bad and just kept like the good, like the higher vibration. And how works like these kind of start is really kind of simple and stupid, but it makes sense, which is you have to start becoming aligned with first like the sunset and the sunrise. You have to become aligned with the sun, because it's like the fastest frequency thing, right? Like the sun rises, the sun sets, you wake up with the sun, you do a sun salutation, you do something as the sun sets, you do something at high noon. Why you do this routine is because you want to get back rhythmically with the natural evolved self of that we evolved with thousands of years before we had like electricity, right? And then you want to and then what does it say to do? Okay, become aligned with the moon. So like the moon is like there's no moon, and then like it grows, and then becomes a full moon, and then and then the crescent like becomes smaller, and it wanes, right? It wanes and it waxes, right? So you want to get on that rhythmic cycle, because that is a cycle that we evolved with for thousands of years. So so really what you're doing is you're getting attuned with these cycles. Okay, so just as a side note, it's about just getting your like vibration, that like, and that's a vibration, that's a periodic frequency, right? Sinusoidal wave is all these like the Wi-Fi and like cell phone waves. Those are all like damaging or distorting and causing interference with our natural cycles. Just as a side note. Okay, so this also so our solar system, right? Everything goes around the sun, and it's and therefore it has these cycles, these natural cycles. So that's where we get this idea of like you want to work with the wind at your back, like when the moon is getting bigger. What is that? Waxing. You want to maybe like grow your business, and then like as it's waning, you want to maybe like consolidate. So there are periods, there are different periods like that all over the place. Like basically, like I mean, all of life is just filled with that, and we can go further into that in different videos. But along with that, okay, so all the other planets, even though people say things like, oh, but they're so far away, like Mars is really far away, like Venus, how can that affect us? Well, I mean, they're in our solar system, like astral bodies like the moon and the sun, okay, they're really close or they're really big. Like, sure, like they affect us. Like people are like, oh, how can Saturn affect us? But theoretically, from a perspective, if the moon, if these bodies can affect us, then I don't see what, like theoretically, like I don't see any limit to where it says I've never seen something scientific that says like, but if it's this far away it doesn't affect you. So I think it does. Let me explain why. Okay, so we all I don't know if you were alive in the 80s. I was born in the 80s, and who didn't love Carl Sagan?
Blade of grass, as Walt Whitman said, is the journey work of the stars. The formation of the solar system may have been triggered by a nearby supernova explosion. After the sun turned on, its ultraviolet light poured into our atmosphere, its warmth generated lightning, and these energy sources sparked the origin of life. Plants harvest sunlight, converting solar into chemical energy. We and the other animals are parasites on the plants, so we are, all of us, solar powered. The evolution of life is driven by mutations.
If you don't even know who that is, man, you missed out. Okay, Carl Sagan, man, what a delight to hear. One of the great cosmologists of that time. And what did he say? He explained the birth of a solar system, of a galaxy, and okay, so all of matter. So how does the solar system form? Okay, so matter condenses. And then it condenses so much that a star is born, and then as it settles, you get debris that settles into planets. Okay, and then life comes from that. And then so what was his famous line? We're all just made of sun stuff. We are made from the sun. We are these things that are the same stuff, that was born of the same stuff as the sun, trying to understand itself. Okay, that's what humans are. Okay, so if you look at like what does the Dalai Lama say? He has a book called like The Universe Inside of an Atom. Like it's basically this idea of fractals, where like if you look at an atom and how it's like this big body, and you have like these little electron bodies circling around it, then and you look at the solar system, it's kind of the same thing. Like you have this big body in the middle, like this idea of fractals. Okay, so we are the solar system. We represent the solar system, how it is formed. These different planets, all those bodies, like we represent that as each individual one of us. Like it's the idea again. An atom is the same model as the solar system. So what happens in the solar system? It's happening within us as well. We evolved with the solar system. We are a part of it. We are one with it. We're the same thing. What happens in the solar system happens to us. So, that's where. So if you can wrap your mind around that's what's going on when people say like, oh, like the moon, Mars is is really strong right now, or whatever people say. It's because we are one and the same. We are just a mini representation of our solar system. That's what we were born as, and that's what we evolved as. So just wanted to get that across in my video. I hope that kind of explains some stuff about why we feel so deeply, a lot of us, about why this topic of like astrology and planetary things doesn't quite go away. A lot of people feel it, but they can't explain it. Like, why is this like this idea has like persisted for throughout going back thousands and thousands of years with we evolved with these ideas. They just stick around and they don't go away because we feel them really deeply, and we kind of don't know why, but I'm trying to explain why. So I'm not going to go into at all like, Mars is war and Venus is love, and that I'm not I don't know, like I don't have anything to like prove that or anything like that, or make a conjecture. But what I do think is, at the very least, these ideas have survived thousands and thousands of years, and if anything, like we they're ingrained at least in our culture and in our psyche. So at the very least, it's rooted at least that deep. If we look at this basically family tree of like how religions formed, we can see like like these pagan druidic ideas of like of planets and such, like formed a lot of our modern religions. So that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. Again, it's really old and it's really deep. And if we were to in the future if science were to become more open to these ideas, exploring these ideas as being like actual things that affect us, maybe we can support them probabilistically, maybe not in a proving way. I don't know how that future is going to look. But if we look at this, these ideas are really old, and they have persisted, and it may be a good starting point. So maybe saying that Mars is war and Venus is love and whatever else is being said out there, maybe that's not the worst starting point when looking at this stuff. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll try to have another video soon at some point. So thanks for watching, guys.